It's Carl. So we're in the middle of summer right now, and it's usually the time I like to catch up on my video games, even though my life is super hectic. Wedding coming up soon, planning / building a house, obviously all the social stuff, all the traveling, but a couple hours a week. And depending where you are, you could be heading back to school soon. You could be building a desk setup yourself. These desk setups are honestly my favorite to make. So this is one of the best and the most ultimate gaming laptop setups that I've created. Happy to share it with you. We'll obviously start with the main component first, which is this new beast of a laptop. This is the Alienware M16, powered by the AMD Ryzen 7000 series, and it's one of the first laptops with these new chipsets inside. And I pulled it off the desk. This thing is an absolute beast, an absolute monster, maybe the best gaming laptop that I've used. This exact spec has the Ryzen 9 7845HX, 32 gigs of RAM, a terabyte SSD, and the RX 7600 MXT in this beautiful chassis. And when I initially unboxed this, right away I kind of thought that there was something special. The experience of it was really nice, and of course with Alienware, you've got that super sleek design, obviously the classic logo on the back. All of these lights change, and what I really like is this little LED light bar around, and I've actually got it matched to match my little Porsche wallpaper with the hints of blue. And of course, since it is a 16-inch laptop, you kind of see that 16 kind of embossed in the anodized aluminum, so it's super, super clean. Love the design of it, and obviously once you kind of look around the front, it's a chunky laptop, but rightly so. It's one of the best in terms of performance. This actually has the best tactile mechanical keyboard that I've used on a laptop, period. They're Cherry MX switches. It is so nice to use. Let me just get a bit of that clickiness for you. It's laced with vents all around the computer. There's 5 in total, and there are 4 ultra-thin fans to help dissipate heat. The display is matte, which I'm a fan of, especially for gaming. In my studio, we're kind of laced with windows, so there's pretty much no glare. And because of the 16-inch form factor, you technically don't need an external monitor, which I have one behind me, which I'll get to in a second. But if I had to, I could get by just fine with this. But the biggest thing that I love about this, because it's a big beast, it's a hunky guy, all of the I/O ports are on the back. So when you hook it up to a little desk setup like this, you can make it nice and clean, nice and integrated. You have nothing coming out from the sides, and everything can go from the back. Obviously, you've got power. I will say that the charging brick, it is quite large. It's got USB-C, HDMI, and what I love about this on a gaming laptop, a full SD card slot. And I wish I saw more gaming laptops that would have it, because obviously it's got the power and the internals to handle 4K edits, which I actually edited this video on this guy, which was completely fine. This thing is an all-in-one beast. Obviously the size is there, and you'll notice on my little desk setup here, I actually don't have any external monitors. One of the things that I was blown away with was the internal speakers on this. I've been playing a lot of Hogwarts Legacy. I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. Shout outs to all my fellow Ravenclaws out there. The soundtrack on that is pretty epic, and listening to that on this has been such a pleasure. Thankfully, I'm the only one at my studio, and as we can see with some of the accessories later, I do have some headphones if you want to rock, but the speakers on this have been top par.
Rather unorthodox, to say the least.
Unorthodox? It's inconceivable. It's... fig.
And every other game that I've been throwing at it have been crushing it on ultra or the highest settings at the highest frame rate. Even though I suck terribly, say it like COD, I can get by crunching through on this one machine, which I think is super dope. So definitely recommend it on this. I'm a big fan of the design. Keyboard, phenomenal. Build quality is kind of on point. There's no bend, no weird flex in the chassis. It feels like a premium laptop, as it should for this price, but this is obviously kind of component 1 of the desk and the main heart of it. So now that it's docked, you can see that I've got it connected to an LG UltraGear monitor. It's the 32GQ850. I think this monitor size is kind of the sweet spot, maybe even a bit on the large end. You don't need anything ridiculous like a 38, 42-inch, extreme ultra wide, unless you're doing some racing games where you need to see a lot of the peripheral. This is kind of the sweet spot for that. It's a simple plug and play, and because the M16, all those ports are on the back, you kind of can keep your cable management a bit on point. And this is kind of where it gets to the desk. So you can either go anywhere from, super budget, what a lot of students rock, or the YouTuber classic. It's the 2 IKEA Alex drawers plus little kitchen countertop. You can go as budget as that, all the way to what I have here, which is a bit more premium. It's from Artifox. It's in this beautiful walnut wood finish and has extra premium features. I wouldn't say justified for the price, but they're nice to have. It's got a little slot for cable management. It has this nice grill on the back that you can tie cables to. It even has a peg for your headphones. When I'm not listening to gameplay through the laptop, I can just stick my Logitech Pro X's, which I have. They're solid, 150 bucks. I've had these for a couple of years and I've had no reason to upgrade yet. Regardless of your desk choice though, I would still recommend to get a little desk riser. This is what really keeps, I think, the setup clean. This one specifically is from Grovemade. It's surprisingly in a very similar walnut wood finish. And what this does, it hides the cables from your eyes from actually seeing them go to the back of the desk, which I think is 98% of the battle. No one has to see, what lives on the ground. And it also helps keep extra accessories off the table so you can kind of keep them a bit more managed on this little shelf. On mine right now, you can see what I currently have on deck. So this is the Nothing Phone 2. Obviously, you see it from the glyph system on the back. That's what makes this phone super unique. I wouldn't say that this is a mid-range phone anymore from the Nothing 1. It's kind of been upgraded to around the $800-ish mark, depending on what spec you get. I created a separate vid if you want to check that out, but the whole thing is kind of seeing the transparent back. And if you want to skin up your phone to look like the Nothing Phone, I know a lot of you saw my Instagram around the S23 Ultra with the little Nothing skin. You can obviously grab that from Dbrand. Obviously the skin doesn't light up, but it gives you the look of the Nothing Phone, so I will leave that down below. For lights, this is one from Logitech. Once again, this is pretty simple plug and play. If you're into streaming and want a good light setup on your face, say you take a lot of calls, check out this one. You can change the color temperature. It's nice and soft light, so you look better on camera, on video, whatever you use it for. It has its own stand, but I just have mine mounted right on the desk riser, and that works as well. This little wood accessory from Artifox, and what I actually like, it is magnetic, so it actually clips nicely to this little desk riser because there are some pieces of metal here, and inside I just have some stationery, a pen for when I jot down notes, my Apple Pencil for when I'm using my iPad, and on the end, these are a new pair of earbuds that I've been pairing with my Nothing Phone 2. These are the WF-1000X Mark V, so these are Sony's top-end or premium earbuds. They compete with, say, the AirPods Pro. They probably have the best fit for earbuds that I've used because they actually have this memory foam ear tip, and they have different sizes all the way from extra small to large. So 4 different options or 4 different sizes that you can choose from. Obviously active noise canceling, some really deep bass. These sound really good. Obviously I can't portray that over video, but if you're in the Android ecosystem, I think this is your best bet. It would just be a toss up if you're, say, iOS, probably AirPods, but if you're using Android, these are a serious contender and probably one of the better ones that I've used. That's kind of it for the desk riser, and the final 2 accessories, obviously, if you are gaming, you need an actual dedicated gaming mouse. So I actually just have this one from Razer. It's part of their customs line. You can see I actually have my, just shameless plug, my gamer tag for myself. But I also just picked up this Razer DeathAdder V2 on Prime Day as well. And I know that preference for gaming mice are pretty subjective, so you can rock whichever you have. And the last thing, like I said, for streams, you can kind of see it over my shoulder. This is just a simple boom arm with a USB-C microphone attached to it. This is the Sennheiser Profile mic, and the reason why I love it, it's, like I said, USB-C. Most plug-and-play microphones, like the Blue microphones, are somehow still USB-A. You don't have to deal with XLR. You don't need an audio interface, especially for a laptop setup. You don't want to have too many things crowding your desk. But pretty solid mic, and it's on an Elgato boom arm, so I'm kind of mixing and matching my brands, but that's kind of the setup that works for me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this vid. The last thing that I didn't include, which I'm trying to upgrade to, is the gaming chair, so I'm just using my Herman Miller right now. Not really technically a gaming chair, but I am eyeing the Razer Lamborghini. I think it's the Enki Pro. That will be coming into the studio because it has bits of orange. Obviously, I'm a big automotive fan. You can see with my wallpaper, but that's the next upgrade on the list. I hope you took some useful tips. Remember, everything is listed down below in the description. And if you are someone that's crushing gaming right now in the summer, catching up on a couple of those games, or heading back to school, that's where I played literally the most video games in my life. So I wish I was heading back to school. This video is definitely for you. I'll catch the rest of you in one of my next ones. Peace.